So 11th fairway at Calcot Park. Alex, discussion about worms. I guess it's a sort of a very common question at this time of year that you might hear.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
What are you hearing?
Yeah, just when we play on the surfaces at the moment, we do see a lot of worm casts. Especially on those bare areas from the summer that haven't quite caught up. And the feedback is, it's very muddy out there. I think when you actually look at the main surfaces, there is quite a good bit of coverage. But obviously, Tom, I, and Jack have seen a lot of worm casts out there when we've been out there recently.
Okay, so Tom, I know it'd be difficult for golfers to see this, but it is an improving situation in quite challenging conditions when we start to look at the nature of the subsoils, the typical soils that you have got, and the water retention in those, and then just a sort of volume of worm casts, which have been a lot of worm cast activity even from sort of August onwards this year because of the wet conditions, in September, so we're seeing 300% of its typical rainfall. But you've got a lot of work in place, haven't you?
Yeah, doing a lot of shock waving, verti draining, scarification, trying to get that water moving from the top profile through. You can see obviously on that sample that it does.
Yeah.
The colour does lighten out. We've got a good root structure through the aeration, getting oxygen down. So we are trying and.
Yeah. And I think that's the interesting thing, that the roots grow in air space in the soil, not in soil itself. And where you get root space, you get a chance for water to move. But these soils clay soils are very plastic and sort of compact, and we're dealing with years of compaction. But what I think the big message to get across here is, what are the RNA doing about what's the message from the RNA? Look, simply, there is no chemical product, authorized chemical treatment to kill worms. It's unauthorized, we can't do it. So we have to think innovatively, what do we do? So it's working on the principles of good greenkeeping management, aeration. It's overseeding, it's encouraged sort of a denser sward condition, because actually we do see some good promising signs of, if we can work towards this, getting the nutrition right in the autumn, we can have just much better density, and we can start to protect the swards. I think we've been talking about different ways of mowing. I know you just recently switched to different ways of mowing, reduce the types of volume of mowing that we might need to do, difficult in a damp autumn, which strong growth up until now. I guess, what do we see for Parkland golf? Look, I see many courses now advancing to sort of winter play mats. It's improving your game. It's now sort of allowable within the rules of golf as well. I think Parkland golf, we're battling against the tide sometimes with it. So I think continue with the strategies that you've got and see improvement. It's early stages to the aeration. You've got a new piece of equipment as well. That's rotary decompaction, shockwave. Seen some good results with that. Persevere with it, but I think, look, Parkland golf needs to adapt moving forward. So no simple answer, ongoing strategy, and sort of thinking differently.